he's not a headache. But some shit be doing it. Be like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
bro. Like,
how
and
did
that
he
shit
get that?
frustrating.
Like,
It's like.
Gentlemen, welcome back to our 11th episode of the CGI Madden League podcast, otherwise known as the Commissioner's Report, the CGI Madden League podcast. We are back with you in our postseason, our second postseason of Madden 21, and it's going to be crazy. Yeah. It's going to be a crazy postseason. It's already been crazy. Is 6 wildcard games is insane. I can't imagine how this is going to be in the NFL when it actually starts. But 6 wildcard games and CGI is crazy. In the NFL, it's going to be insane. But But welcome back to the CGI Madden League podcast. I am your host, the head commissioner, _game836. I can be followed on Twitter. I can be followed on Instagram. I also stream on Twitch and YouTube. And of course, I'm joined by 2 of my 3 co-commissioners. The Solution 113 is not with us tonight, but hopefully we'll have him back soon for our next episode. Until then, we got Red Boy Lightning with us, the Enforcer. What's up, man?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing? Glad to be back a part of the Commissioner's Report.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And then we got the Mad 88 Titan Thanos, otherwise known as Wakanda. What's good, bro?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
I mean, we're fresh off of watching back-to-back playoff games, and the juices are flowing. I mean, obviously the juices are flowing for y'all. Y'all are both victorious in y'all playoff games, so y'all are feeling good, relaxed, resting up for the next round.
one game at a time.
No looking ahead, right?
The goal is to go 1-0 every week. That's it.
There you go. There you go. Spoken like true playoff contenders right there. The CGI Madden League, of course, is a PlayStation 4 Madden League. Maybe eventually will be on PlayStation 5. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But you can follow us at CGI Madden League on Twitter. Sometimes we post some stuff. Sometimes we don't. It is what it is. And you can also follow our...
Gotta get better.
One day. You can also follow some of you can follow our podcast and other potential video content on our YouTube page at Clutch Gene League on YouTube. So, all right. So we always start off our show with the State of Madden 21 topic of the week. We got a couple things, but we'll try to be quick because we want to get into talking about these playoffs and what was the 2021 regular season. But the last time we did an episode, we were anticipating a big franchise update. And that update finally dropped. It's one of 3 total franchise updates that they're planning to release to update franchise mode over the cycle of Madden 21. And the first update dropped, I think it was like November 10th, November 11th, a couple weeks ago. And it added some cool things to the league, some controversial, some that are helpful. I guess As far as the helpful, cool ones, we'll just knock those out real quick. So they now have a visual playoff picture, which is something. Yeah, it looks great. It's really dope. It's great. It should have been in the game for the last 15 years, but whatever. We're not gonna. We're just gonna take
it. Under the bridge. Let's move right along.
Exactly. It's here now. We'll take it. Something else that should have already been in the game. You can now see what teams players played for on their stat cards. So that's kind of cool. I mean, it should have already been in the game, but whatever. We'll take it. You go and look at, say, like I don't know,
Khalil Mack.
look at Khalil Mack's player card, and you can see that in the last 2 seasons, his stats are for the Bears. And then before that, he played for the Raiders. Before, you couldn't tell. It just showed his stats, and it didn't tell you what team he played on for his stats. So, cool feature. Glad that it's finally added into the game. Hopefully it sticks around and it's not brought back as a new feature in 10 years. And then they also added breakout scenarios for quarterbacks. Of course, anybody that plays franchise mode knows that as you play along, you get good stats with certain players. You get development trait scenarios where you can upgrade, your player from star to superstar, or superstar to X Factor. They finally added those abilities or trait scenarios for quarterbacks. Now they're very difficult. They're not going to be easy to get.
That's the one Chris posted. The one Chris posted the other day. I was like, what? Like,
it's like you gotta get 350 yards and 4 touchdowns and no interceptions.
And the win. And you have to win.
Yeah, and you got to win the game. It's like, damn, dog. It's usually like for a receiver or a running back, you just got to get 3 touchdowns and 150 yards. You ain't got to win. You ain't got to have no fumbles or nothing like that. Like, man, you got to be perfect.
The only person I know in our league so far that had that scenario was our Bucks user AJ, and he got the scenario with Baker Mayfield, and he basically did everything except he threw 1 pick.
Yeah, that's trash.
He threw 1 pick, so it didn't give it to him. Yeah, and the pick that he threw, it was tough. He was backed up against the goal line, and he forced it, and it turned into a pick 6. It was an unnecessary throw, but when the dev trait scenario's on the line, you just feel like you got to fling it.
Yeah,
and yeah, that was one play he wished he had back, I'm sure, but. Regardless, it's good that we have more ways to develop quarterbacks, because the only other way was to get stats at the end of the season and get like Pro Bowls and rewards for that. So that's good. And then they
found America to Superstar X Factor so bad.
Oh God, please no. The NFC West would not like that. As far as controversial ones, they added 2 controversial ones. One of them is dev trait regression. So while I think it's necessary in a way for players to start regressing their dev traits at some point, especially if they are not living up to performance and expectations, the way that it works is broken right now. So we're not going to take advantage of it. We're just going to leave it off, which thankfully they gave us the option to have it off. But hopefully it's something that they fix and tune and then properly explain how it works down the road to where maybe we can include it in our league. But as of right now, we're not going to use it. Yeah.
You can't have it when I know in one of the leagues I'm in, it was the leading rusher. The leading rusher regressed development.
Right.
How you can be the leading rusher in the league and regress development? Like, nah, the system is broken. So we can't use it. It's something that we don't want to take advantage of if it's going to, not function properly.
Yeah. So again, hopefully down the road it works better and functions properly and makes it more clear for us to use. And then the last thing that they added, which is controversial, is the ability to customize X Factor and superstar traits. Now, it wouldn't be controversial if they would have did the right thing, which was only make it so that commissioners can edit those abilities. But lo and behold, EA does it again. They give us something we don't ask for, and they let everybody edit those abilities. Hold on, there's more. Not only did they let everybody edit abilities, they don't show it in the transaction log, so you don't know if anybody's editing their abilities.
Somebody could change that shit every single game, and you would never know.
And what's nuts though? Like, I don't have the desire to do that. Like, whatever ability I put on my player is that, and that's what it's going to be until that player's not on my team anymore or they retire or whatever. But I don't have the desire to change the ability every single game. That's just not me.
But there will be people that would do that. Yeah. And that's the problem, unfortunately, is you can't. It puts commissioners of leagues in a situation where it's either impossible to police, or if you are going to police it, you're putting in a lot of work to police it. and this is not a paid job, being a commissioner.
Not at all.
So putting in that much work, it's way too draining.
You would legit have to go through everybody's team every single day.
Every day.
Who's changing what? And it's like, who has time to do something like that?
But even before going through it every single day, you have to go through it initially to have a list of what every single player's zone ability and superstar ability was, so you can cross check it every day. Like, ain't nobody got time to be doing all that shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's believe me, I had plenty of ideas. We all had plenty of ideas of ways we could figure out ways to police it, but at the end of the day, we just sat back and realized it wasn't worth it. Let's just let everybody have at it. So, since they've added this ability, we've allowed everybody to customize their abilities on their players. And I mean, so far it hasn't had a major impact on the league, I would say. I guess a couple people here and there are benefiting from it more than others, but I personally don't feel like it's swung the power of the league or anything in any way. Now, will it, say, in 2 or 3 seasons? Maybe. We'll see. But
time will tell.
Time will tell, exactly. As of right now, we're gonna rock with it as it is, and hopefully it hopefully doesn't burn us in the end.
I don't think it will. I don't think it will.
Because last Madden we played with them on, you know what I'm saying? So it was one of those things where it was like we're kind of used to the superstar abilities, the ones that matter the most, that we know matter the most, So like jukebox, we're used to it now. So it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't have it on my running back, but it is what it is. You know what I mean?
It's not as jukebox is not as OP as it used to be. Like jukebox used to put it on and you were like juke 6 yards away from whoever was trying to tackle you.
You would moonwalk across the field.
Like you would glide like to a different part of the field and then just run away. But jukebox now, it's still good. It's still a good ability, but you have to know how to use it and how to steer the juke.
And it works with certain running backs. Like if you have like a Christian McCaffrey or somebody like that, like I can understand jukebox being on there. Like I have Drake, but there's no need for me to have jukebox because I'd rather him be more powerful and fall forward and things of that nature. Like I looked at Derrick Henry's abilities. That's something I would want. Derrick Henry or Zeke type abilities.
I've actually I'm using Zeke in another league in the gridiron actually, and I put evasive and bulldozer on them. Evasive, the jukes and the spins, and bulldozer for the trucking animations. And so I think those are realistic abilities to put on a running back.
I put the Alvin Kamara. What's the jump with the running back has the extra routes?
Running back apprentice.
Yeah,
that one. I put that on King Drake. You know what I mean? Because he's a pass catching running back. I guess we'll make him one.
He was getting dirty in this playoff game and this wild card game today, man.
It was something slight. It was hard running on AJ because AJ front. They was getting back there the entire time. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk.
Yeah. We will.
I think at the end of the day, that's a lot of what came into the decision was that the abilities themselves are not nearly as overpowered as they were last year. Last year they were overpowered. They didn't put a lot of thought into how they affect the game. Right. This year, it seems like they put a lot more thought into most of them. Some of them are still kind of like, everybody's going to have this because it works so well. But it's definitely not near as many as OP ones as there was last year. So, like I said, we'll see. Yeah. And then, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. What do y'all think the best offensive and best defensive ability is in the game right now as far as zone abilities?
Defensive ability. Does this include superstar abilities or just the X factors?
Both.
Defensive abilities. Right now, it looks like it's between like the run stopping ones, like inside stuff and no outsiders. Those ones are pretty crazy. I've seen the downside of those where sometimes the defender over pursues on the instant block shed. So it's not like it's perfect, but it still affects you. It still affects the game in a major way because it's gonna at worst it's gonna redirect you to a different run lane. Because you know that instant block shed is going to scare you, especially if there's a couple of people that do that on that line or on that defensive front. So I think that's probably my choice defensively. Offensively, I don't know. I haven't seen enough offensively. I guess just by perception, it's human joystick. But as far as I know, we only have one person that uses it, and I don't know. I don't want to say anything because I don't want him to use it against me. But actually, I'll just leave it there. I'm not gonna say anything else.
Gotcha. I'm a big fan of Fearmonger. I like that ability a lot, and for me, I like Yak.
Yak him up.
Yeah,
the
Yak
wide
him up.
receiver
Yak him up.
ability. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I like that one. Yeah, those are my two. Those are the two.
I would throw like mid zone KO in there, but
That's what I was going to say for a linebacker.
it depends though on the speed of the linebacker too, because I notice having 84 speed Fred Warner with mid zone KO is, if he's there, sure, it's effective. But the problem is getting there with his 84 speed, as opposed to, say, in your example, you're going to have Patrick Queen, who's 91 speed. You're going to basically always be there, or at least have the ability to get there because you have 91 speed compared to 84 speed. So yeah, if you have that like 86, 87 plus speed linebacker with mid zone KO, I definitely think that probably takes the cake as one of the more overpowered abilities on defense.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was mid-zone KO. Yeah, mid-zone KO. Yeah.
Look at Isaiah
linebacker, and then for cornerback, the zone ability, I like the universal coverage.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Doesn't get you a lot of interceptions like shutdown does, but it get you a lot of knockouts. A lot of deflections, and
Well, that's what you. That's one more than anything.
Yes.
I take the knockout over the interception.
Yep.
Yeah, one of my corners had a really good season, Gary and Conley. So I'm praying that he gets an upgrade at the end, because if he does, believe me, he's getting one of those abilities. He's getting universal coverage. I would love to have a member of my secondary with the superstar ability, but I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Offense.
Yeah.
I think Omaha. Omaha is the one, man.
Now, talk to me about Omaha.
I haven't seen you.
Talk to me about Omaha. What is the goal to get into the zone for Omaha? Because I thought it was difficult, but in the two streams that I've seen with you and Kid both having that, Kid, our Jaguars user, y'all are in it by the second quarter, so it must not be that difficult.
Well, yeah, you gotta get 5. You have to get 4 5-yard plus passes. 4 in a row. Yeah, you gotta get 4 in a row.
I could have swore it was something like, I thought it was like big chunk plays. Got it. I didn't know. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, but you can't throw a completion, or you get in pressure. You throw the ball away. You got to start all over.
Okay. So it has to be consecutive completed passes.
Yeah, consecutive completed passes. 4 for at least 5 yards, and then once you get in it to lose it, you have to throw 2 incompletions, or if you get sacked, obviously, or if you're running around and you fumble, or you throw an interception.
Yeah, that wouldn't work for me. that one might not fit me. I mean, but just visually seeing how it works for you, and like I said, our Jaguars user Kid, it's definitely a nice advantage to be able to see, oh, the safeties are playing too deep. Oh, they're playing center fielder with 2 deep corners. It's a nice advantage. I can definitely see. Yeah.
It's definitely an advantage. The only downside I give it is it's a zone ability and it's not a superstar ability. So it's not something I can use every down
Right.
I play with the player.
Right.
Once I get in the zone, if I get out of it, I got to start all back over. But once you're in the zone and you can see what the secondary is doing, because you can't see the whole defense, you can just see the secondary. You can kind of dictate where you want to go with the ball or where a running lane is going to be. I think that's the best offensive ability.
Oh, okay. I've always been interested in like the blitz ones, like blitz radar. I've always wanted to see what that looks like. I've never seen anybody have that, so or at least I've never seen anybody stream that has it on.
I'm in another league. I had that with Russell Wilson, and I changed it.
It's not that impressive.
Yeah, it's not that for me. It was.
I felt like that's a matchup based one. Like if you go into a matchup against Cy, our Dolphins user, you would want to have that on because we know that he's very blitz heavy. But if you go into a matchup with I don't know, Wyatt or Sam, they don't blitz as heavy, and you're probably not Wyatt, more like Sam. They don't blitz as heavy, where so it's gonna make that ability useless because you're not gonna read anybody, I would assume, right?
No,
yeah,
right,
yeah. If nobody's blitzing, yeah.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get that quarterback scenario and actually complete it. I'll find out for myself.
You will, because your quarterback was a rookie this year, yo, and he getting ready. He's getting ready.
Yeah, he threw a lot of picks, but we'll get there.
Everybody throws a ton of picks at this game. Everybody.
We'll get there. The other thing that just to finish off the State of Madden 21 topic of the week, the other thing that EA revealed was their first details on what next gen Madden is going to look like. They released a little bit of video, some screenshots, a lot of details overall.
Are we excited?
Not really.
Not really. Not really.
I think EA just said fuck man. Like they don't care.
You're gonna buy it. We're just gonna half-ass our way through this thing and give you another incomplete product, and you're gonna buy it.
The big thing that they pushed, of course, they pushed graphical improvements, which is obvious,
right?
And they pushed like enhancements to weather and sidelines and crowds and stuff like that. That's great. You're going to get all those things with the next gen console. Gameplay wise, the big thing that they push is next gen stats is supposed to make players feel different and perform different. And then route running improvements where routes are not as robotic anymore. They're a lot more rounded and more realistic. And what I'll say is, if the route running stuff works the way it should, and there's also the appropriate changes to defensive backs to go along with that, not defensive backs running the routes for the receivers type stuff.
Right.
As long as there's the appropriate changes there and the route running stuff makes sense and works the way that they say it should improve gameplay a lot. It should. Okay. Ideally, it should. Well, but
we will see.
It's always we will see when it comes to EA and Madden. You just can't take their word for how they say this stuff is going to work, because once we get the controller in our hand, it takes less than 24 hours for us to see the cheese.
Absolutely. I've learned not to get my hopes up when it comes to Madden anymore. Yeah. It's just things where it's just like, I will see it, we'll believe it when we see it, and we'll see how it works.
Yes.
Go from there. So, yeah, fuck, man. Well, let me not curse myself, because the Madden gods are frowned upon.
Yeah. You still got a playoff game to play. You might want to be careful.
I apologize.
But yeah. So I don't know. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about that. So we'll move on. But next gen Madden. I'm sure we'll get more details as the weeks come on, and the game releases on December 4th. So, whoever has PlayStation 5 at that point will be able to give some reviews at that point. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm not excited. I guess it's great that I got it for free because everybody that purchased it on PS4 is going to be able to upgrade to it for free on PS5. So that's great. I'm excited about that. But
so if you have the downloaded copy, you can upgrade for free.
Yeah, it's with the disc copy as well. I forget how it's done with the disc copy, but there's a way to do it with the disc copy too.
Okay, I'm probably not going to get my 5 until the summertime.
I can see it. It's tough to get right now, and I mean it's not even that many games out for it right now. There's really no rush for it.
The only game I'm going on is Madden and Spider-Man. That's it.
Yeah. So.
And I know if I buy a PlayStation 5 now, they're gonna come out with the different colors. Right one, the right one. Watch. So that's what
fuck, I wanted the black one.
Right.
Well, I don't understand how they didn't, account for the market that was going to be there, and not to manufacture more PS5s and have them available for purchase.
Well, that's what they doing. They did that on purpose. Make sure we have everybody flock to the stores, make it sell out, things of that nature. Don't make too many. It's like how people do Jordans and stuff like that. How they do the Yeezys. Don't make too many. Have everybody fiending and scrambling for them and stuff like that. Then the next wave that come out, we'll put out a bunch of them joints because we know everybody's waiting for them now. Now it's just to test the market to see, are people going to buy this? Are people going to flock to the store and get it? And it's like, yes, we are. We're world video game heads. Everybody plays video games.
I think part of it too is production costs. These new consoles, they cost a lot of money to make, and to make them attractive for people to buy, they got to lower the price. So we're buying it. Yeah, we're buying the console at a way lower price than it probably is worth. So what they probably do is make less of them, send them out there, let everybody buy them all up, and then they made all this money that they can now put towards making more. Making more. So
I get that part of it, but that's what I'm saying. I thought that with all of the pre-orders that they got, that they had enough money to then go ahead and make more of them. You know what I'm saying? Because people have been pre-ordering the joint for a while now, right?
Yeah, since October, since early October. No, it might have been late September, I think, is when they started pre-orders. So
okay, a little over a month. That's still not enough time to get a lot of them out.
Yeah, I'm sure there's all kinds of reasons that are probably way over our heads, but the supply will meet demand eventually. It's just not going to happen as soon as people want it to. So
absolutely,
yeah. Well, that'll wrap it up for our State of Madden 21 topic of the week. Let's get into this recap of this past season. So I don't know what's y'all's thoughts on how the season played out before we start talking about the playoffs.
I'm really in like talk playoff mode. Like
okay.
I'm really talk playoff.
Yeah. I mean,
I can say about the regular season. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with Brolat, man. Brolat definitely is the most improved player of the year this year, and won his division and was 3 seed in the playoffs, man. Shout out to Brolat. Congratulations.
You know what? Since you said that, how do y'all feel about Dizzle dominating all season? I mean, he pretty much dominated all season. How do y'all feel?
This is Dizzle coming up to the elite room, kicking the door open and saying, "I'm here, motherfuckers. Let me in. Scoot over, make room."
I mean, first round bye in the NFC. You got to give props to that, regardless of. I mean, the AFC is the stronger conference, but regardless, a bye is a bye. You know what I mean? To play consistent all season like that. And I mean, he has Scary Terry looking like Scary Terry for real.
He was running through folks, man. He was kicking ass and taking names, man. And his losses, like we always say, you know, we got to gauge you by the losses. His losses are Dev and Don. So those are, you know what I'm saying, two elites.
Tough luck, and those are two opponents that anybody could lose to, no matter what your record is.
What your team is like, none of that.
And I did feel like when he lost to Dev, I was on Dizzle's side in that whole argument in the chat. I definitely was on Dizzle's side on that one. Dev was definitely sneak dissing him, and he made it seem like he wasn't, but he was. He was gassed that he beat him. Like, yeah, because you know, whether we want to admit it or not, people still feel like there's certain people in the chat that still feel like Dizzle's record is the hype. You know what I mean? But I'm a believer. I'm a believer. Now it's gonna suck because he plays Sam next, and Sam has the formula that could beat Dizzle if the plays the way it does. Because Sam might be the best runner in CGI. He might have took the title.
He has two backs and a mobile quarterback. Yeah, I mean, he has three ball carriers in his backfield that can hurt you.
Yeah.
And speaking of that quarterback, man, this quarterback has got 95 throw power, 87 speed. Like this could be the best quarterback of the Madden franchise. Sam could build him into being.
Did he what? My fault. I just looked at a play the Chiefs did. I was like, what? But he just drafted that quarterback, right?
Yeah.
This year he's a rookie.
Yeah.
He's a rookie.
So that's what I was gonna say about the season. Was it's crazy how and speaking of this Chiefs game, I fucking hate that Jonathan Abram wears those fucking long sleeves. It is the most. Oh my god, he's such an awesome player, and he wears those stupid long sleeves, and it frustrates the hell out of me. Regardless. I hate long sleeves.
Back in the day, Donnie Edwards, didn't he wear the long sleeves?
Yeah. Like it just looks so. It doesn't look like you should wear those in 2020.
Donnie Edwards might have been his favorite player.
Maybe. They look kind of like Ronnie Lottish. You know, like he wore sleeves like that, which, you know, yeah, it might be his idol since he plays the same position as him.
You never know.
I just hate the look. But what I was gonna say, so I'm gonna get back to Dizzle. But the rookie quarterback thing, we have never ever seen this in CGI where there's this many starting quarterbacks that were rookies. The Vikings, the Falcons, the Saints, the 49ers, the Cowboys, the Bears, I'm missing like two more.
The Browns.
There's one more somewhere. Oh, the Colts. Jeez.
Yeah, the Colts.
That does have a rookie quarterback.
If I would have forgot him, he would have cried like crazy. That's 8 rookies.
Y'all started already?
Hey, go ahead, dog.
Why set the tone?
That's 8 rookie starting quarterbacks, and I mean, for the most part, I don't really think they disappointed. I think they all made strides in progression. I think every single one of them is gonna be starting again next season. It was a crazy year for rookie quarterbacks. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing one, but I think we got all of them. But yeah, it's just that.
In the draft class that you put in the that was the CGI joint. I mean, it was a lot of sleepers. It was a ton.
It was because when you did scouting prior to the draft, it was top heavy. It looked top heavy, at least. There was like 5 first round quarterbacks, and they were just like, okay, we know these guys are going to go in the first round, or we know they're going to go towards the top of the draft. And then towards the back half of that is where you got a couple of the sleepers. My guy has the highest throw power, has the 3rd highest throw power in the league behind Patrick Mahomes and I forget who the other person is, but yeah, right, exactly.
I didn't know that.
Crazy.
I didn't even know that till you just said it. Yeah.
I think the Saints got his quarterback late. I think the Falcons got his quarterback at some point later on. It was a crazy draft, and a lot of them had speed. The Browns quarterback is fast. The Colts quarterback is fast.
Is fast, bro.
Yeah, the Colts quarterback is fast. The Falcons quarterback is fast. Obviously, the Cowboys quarterback is fast. It was a crazy year for that. But there was some other, aside from quarterbacks, there were some other sleeper rookies that had great performances. Shout out to the Bills running back. I think his last name's Allen. He had a crazy good season for a rookie. Let me see. I'm pulling stats up here.
But I like to hear that Train has players. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Train definitely got something. Got a mob.
I like the Train is doing good.
Yeah, Troy Allen. He's a power back for the most part. It looks like he's a power back. 85 stiff arm, 82 trucking. Actually, he's pretty balanced. He's got 82 spin and 81 juking. But he had 1,900 yards with him. 1,900 yards and 24 touchdowns.
Oh shit! Hey.
Wow.
Yeah. This was a great class, and this was with a Madden generated class. Now, behind the scenes, we've been talking about potential for adding custom draft classes.
Yeah,
we'll look into it down the road, but because it's too late to do it for this season. But I think it was overall pleasing to see this kind of draft class perform the way that it has. I know the Panthers he's not the Panthers anymore. The Wizards had a crazy linebacker. The Vikings started a ton of rookies on his team. He started rookie O-linemen all over the place. He had rookie middle linebackers and safeties all over the place. The Broncos had that sick 96 speed cornerback. The Jets had a really, really good cornerback that he started all year. The Patriots has a rookie running back who's 94 speed and was really good. It was a great year for rookies. It was a good rookie class.
If Madden can keep doing the generated classes like that, shit, we ain't gonna need no custom draft class. You know what I mean? Like if they look out for us like that.
It's just the unknown factor of, well, what if this next draft class is a stinker?
Yeah, right. Now I'm in a league where that draft class was complete boo-boo. It was, right? So thank God the CGI draft class got blessed something serious.
Yeah. But to go back to surprise players and performances and stuff, we'll start with Dizzle. So I had it up here. Let me see. So I'm with you. I think Dizzle overall did burst through a door. But we don't make the schedule. He doesn't make the schedule. His schedule is what it is.
Uh-oh.
But
you say he had a lightning ass schedule?
On his schedule, he only played against 1, 2, 3, 4 teams with a winning record. That's it.
Whoa.
He only played against 4. Now that's tough because, again, like I said, you don't make your schedule,
right?
And the bottom portion of your division is considered weaker. Yeah. No offense to BK, no offense to Bro Man, but their records show that they're not as competitive as other portions of the league.
Okay.
And I mean, you look at the scores that he had against them. He basically manhandled both of them in all four matchups with them. He also swept his other division mate, the Cowboys. So I don't know. Again, you don't make your schedule. We don't make the schedule. You just play who's on your schedule.
Well, look. Here's the thing. Playoff time. He has the person that he's playing. He's beat twice.
Yep.
Playoffs is totally different.
It is.
So everybody's 0-0.
It is.
So,
it's tough playing somebody 3 times in a season.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It is very, very tough to beat someone 3 straight times in a season.
Hell yeah. That is because you know them. You know them at the back of your hand.
You know them. They know you. It's tough. So we'll see. I mean, overall, I say all that just to say overall, I mean, Dizzle, I think, is highly favored in this NFC, as he should be. The way he plays offense and the performance that he gets from his defense, he should be highly favored to make it out of the NFC. Others may disagree, but I think he should be
it makes
favored.
a difference. And it makes a difference when he's playing with a team that he has a passion for in real life. You know what I mean? Like, because you play with that extra motivation because it's your squad, it's your team.
And
Absolutely.
He knows exactly the strengths and weaknesses, and he knows exactly what to do, how to build the team, what pieces to surround those to complement those players' strengths and weaknesses. And yeah, like y'all said, he should definitely be favored with that schedule, with that team he composed. Scary Terry is ripping up the league.
Yeah,
Definitely, I expect him to make a deep run into the playoffs, and he's already swept his division mate Sam Cowboys in the season. But as we know, that don't always mean nothing in the third game.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, as the number one seed, it was a hell of a season, 14-2. I mean, his two losses didn't even come until the last 3 weeks. I'm definitely happy for him. Definitely proud of him. I think he did. Because the thing that I noticed about the way he plays is he never panics, and I think that's what impresses me the most about him. You can tell even when he goes down, because in a lot of these games, in some of these games, he'll be down by he'll be down early in the first quarter, sometimes in the second quarter, but it doesn't faze him. Like, you can tell that he knows he's got stuff ready to go, and he knows how, yeah.
He's comfortable with his offense. He's comfortable with his defense. And most of the good Madden players, no matter what the score is, even if they lose, if they lose, they'll come into the next game. They'll tweak a couple things, but it's pretty much the same game plan. It's pretty much just he's on that. That's what he's on now. And it takes time to get like that. It definitely takes time to get disciplined in what your game plan is. And just stick to your strengths and weaknesses.
I think that speaks to his career in CGI, is that it took time for him to get to this point of being comfortable with what he does offensively and defensively, and he has to this point, or now he's gotten to that point. So it's good for him. It's good for him. And then on the AFC side, the number one seed was the Chiefs, which, of course, we just had him on last episode because he won the bowl. He was number one. Was he number one seed last year? I think he was. No, he wasn't number one seed last year.
No.
Yeah, it was Nick P. So he has a matchup with the Dolphins. Cy, who's somebody else who's been a topic before, as far as the elite discussion. He went out there today and handled his business against the 3 seed, which was Brolot. Again, playing somebody for the third time in the same season. Not easy.
Yeah.
And he went out there and handled his business in a snow game where his team had on all white uniforms, and it's probably hard to see, but he made all the plays that he needed to make. He got the stops when he needed to get them. So, Cy versus the Chiefs, obviously the Chiefs would be favored, but Cy is a wild card player.
He is a wild card player, but I think with this particular matchup, he's been calling out Don so long and sneak dissing him for so long. Don is not going to take it lightly on him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how sometimes Don, he'll come in a game and he'll loaf. You know what I mean? Because he's comfortable with his system. Mm-hmm. He knows I can do whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? Let me come in and just try a couple things. But I feel like with how Cy has been quite disrespectful. Let's just call it what it is. He's been quite disrespectful towards Don.
Yeah.
That's a couple of them side tree members are very disrespectful when it comes to Don. And I think Don is going to probably do Cy dirty when they play. I really do.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a hell of a matchup with Cy going up against Don, because Don still, before he got to break the team up because he can't pay him, he gonna punish Cy. I just that's my prediction. He gonna punish. He
I
going
didn't want to
snitch.
use. I didn't want to use the term punish, but like I
Side
said,
gonna send them zero blitzes at Don and think they gonna get home, and Don gonna be high stepping into the end zone all fucking game.
yeah, like I said, Sai has been very disrespectful towards Don, and he better not quit. I know that.
Oh yeah. Let's please do not quit.
I'm not.
He better not.
The other AFC divisional round matchup that we have set is going to be between the Steamers, formerly the Ravens, and then the Steelers. Again, another round 3 between two division rival teams.
Yeah, you guys are a rival. You guys are like a competitive Madden rivalry now. Like it's you have two rivalries in your conference. You have the Steelers, and for whatever reason, the Colts is on your ass. My God.
Bro, I don't know how or where that rivalry came from, dog. But okay,
No, I know where it came from. This is my theory. You and Colts rivalry. We'll get to the Steelers one, but I feel like with the Colts rivalry, last year you was really working a lot. Like what I'm saying, you was building the whole city up with you was gentrifying the city. So you weren't really heavy in Madden like that. And Watt is a good player. He's one of our best users. So he was dogging. He was getting the best of you last Madden. This Madden, kind of more relaxed. You got a little more time on your hands. You could prep how you used to prep prior to the previous Madden. And I think Watt is looking like, man, he was some shit last Madden. I could beat him last Madden, but this year, nah. Like you back in full force. That's my take on it. Because I've never known Watt. I'm not going to call him a hater, but it's just kind of weird that he's always on your neck in particular. Like he's not on nobody else's neck in the league, but he's always on your head, like always on your. He even sneaked this D. Like it was like, where'd that come from? But
that's what kind of like for real it has set me over the rails a little bit when he sneaked this D, because D don't bother nobody. Game, he don't bother nobody. For real.
Right.
He almost, you know what I'm saying? He like a Sam for real. He don't, you know what I'm saying? He don't bother nobody. And
now Sam be bothering people. That's bullshit.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? He came, you know what I'm saying, sideways to him, and then, came with some other troll shit, man. And then, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know why he's so concerned with being what I'm doing, but I guess he feel like, he ain't get no props last Madden. He wants some props from me. He gonna have to earn them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. As we all have to
when
it comes to opponents. We gotta and speaking of props, we always give Watt his props. He's a Super Bowl champion. Like we always give him his props. I've never known us to talk down on Watt when it came to, you know what I'm saying? We put him in the league conversation.
Yeah, I didn't, and I didn't talk down on him until certain things transpired.
But
yeah.
Now today's matchup against the Steelers didn't really help his case, as he had a 14-point lead, and that lead really quickly dwindled and became a 35-21 loss in his wild card matchup against the Steelers. So that's why the Steelers is now matching up with you, the Steamers. You, on the other hand, you had with the Steamers, you had a thriller against the Jaguars. I was talking about this with somebody a couple days ago. These 2-7 matchups are always going to be – have a chance to always be scary, because you just don't know who's going to wind up in that 7th spot. And it's going to be somebody – for one, the 2 seed gets screwed because here you are, you went 14-2, and you don't get a bye week.
Right. No incentive for having a good season.
Yeah. So that the 2 seed gets screwed in that way, but the 7th seed, I mean, it could literally be anybody. It could be the 3rd place person in a top tier division. It's scary, that matchup. And in this instance, you came up where you drew Kid in a 2-7 first round matchup, And that's not a first round matchup. That is a second or a third round matchup.
That's not.
That's what I said, bro. It felt like I was playing a championship game. I mean, because with kid, like with most people, I can look at what you're in pre-snap and I can read your coverage and know where I'm going with the ball, or know if I'm gonna pass, or know if I'm gonna run. But kid is so good at disguising his coverages and really making you think every play. It's a chess match, man. It's a cold chess match, no matter what.
You're never gonna go into a game against kid and be like, I'm about to dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're never gonna go in the game and say that, yo. No matter what his record is or whatever. Like, he's one of the most solid. He's solid, like how Train's solid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Solution plays solid defense. That's the same way Kid is. That's the same way Kid is. And again, people in the chat get mad when we always give him his props. But he's a solid Madden player, yo, and he's a scary matchup wherever you meet him at. He's a scary, scary matchup. And he's doing it with the Jags.
I say that he's the best player in the league because his teams, you'll look at his teams on paper, and they don't jump out at you like their attributes and stuff like that. But he be, you know what I'm saying, balling with some 86 speed safeties or some, you know what I'm saying, 82 speed quarterback that has fucking 750 yards rushing and 12 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
No bullshit.
Hey, or how he'll be leading the league in rushing with what's the Bama name? Ed Dixon.
Kenneth Dixon, yeah.
Yeah, dog. It's like, what, young? So yeah, that's why scheme, bro. His scheme that he run is really hard to match up with. But we overcame it, man. We played a solid game, man. I think it was exhilarating for me, man. I felt like Eminem about the freestyle. I'm just sweaty. These weak arms heavy.
Yeah, and it was that was a pleasing game to watch visually. Just two good users playing good defense, but still getting big plays on offense when they need it. It was a very pleasing game to watch. So it was a good matchup.
How do you feel about your matchup going in with the Steelers? Because he coming in ready. Like I know Nick P has you circled. Like, I gotta beat this dude. I do not want to lose him.
Well, if I can talk about, that's the other rivalry we was talking about. Last year he swept me in the
regular season.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this question before you dive deep. You from a scale of 1 to 10, where's your respect level for Nick P?
From a scale of
Madden
1 to 10, where's my Madden respect for Nick P?
As far as the Steelers.
It's at 11.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's how you know what I'm saying. When it comes to Madden skills, how much respect I got for Nick P. Man, I give Nick P his credit, bro. He went undefeated in the CGI season, bro. Even though it was season 1, it's the wild card season. You never know what's gonna happen in season 1, but he went undefeated. He swept me, you know what I'm saying? I give him his props. He took players that was normal dev, low rated, and built them up. You know what I'm saying? Like a true franchise user would. So you know what I'm saying? I definitely give him his props. But yeah, as far as how I feel about my matchup with him, I feel like I'm gonna beat him. I feel like until he switches up his scheme, it's nothing he can do with me. It's not. I know I'm sniffling. I'm a little sick. Let me get some tea in a minute, fellas.
No, you good?
Yeah. I don't feel like there's nothing he can do with me, man, because I know what he's gonna do. I know the keys to focus on to win the game. And unless he has a different scheme, or unless he's going to attack my team in a different way, it's nothing he ain't gonna be able to do with me. And I done got a dev upgrade scenario since the last time we done played. I done got Chuck Clark up, and I done got Marlon Humphrey, the superstar X Factor. So that's now somebody I can just, throw on Claypool or Kirk or whoever and just, not worry about them.
Well, Hey, I mean, what can we say? There's nothing we can say. Like, you know him, and he knows you to a certain degree. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's going to be a good matchup because he's the way you study him. He's studying you like that now too. He probably not going to admit that, but
Nah,
he
he's
is.
not going to admit it, but I know he's studying. That's why he be looking for my streams and like where your game at? You know what I'm saying? Where you at? Like why you? I wanted to watch a good game. Like no, you didn't, motherfucker. You wanted to study and see what I be running and when I be running it. You ain't slick, nigga.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would imagine that's the most anticipated matchup in our divisional round. The only other matchup we didn't talk about was the Cardinals and Vikings. We'll start with the Vikings first. He overcame that game was pretty tight for the most part all the way through. But he beat the Falcons 34-21 in the wild card round. I think this is his first time beating the Falcons this Madden so far. He had lost.
Oh,
yeah, he lost to them in both regular season matchups they had last season and this season. So it's a good time to beat him, which is in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He he got a major stop on fourth down to keep him out of the end zone, and then he broke away with a long touchdown to seal it with Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook having human joystick on is scaring everybody, but you don't got no time to be scared in your matchup, Wakanda, do you?
nah, not at all.
No time to be
Not
scared.
at all. Nah, not at all. Devin's a solid ass player, and when I was watching him play, he was playing solid defense on. When he started realizing that Cam was scrambling to his right, he was all over that shit. Like you know,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And it threw Cam's game plan completely off.
Yeah.
As soon as that Bama ran right, Cam was sending that linebacker or that safety right to him. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. And
we gonna
Madden.
see, man. I don't get to play. I'm glad we simmed it. I'm glad we simmed it because now I got to go in there with like the unknown, like one of those where it was like I don't know how to prep for him, so I can just play and go for broke and just see if the better person will win. But Dev is solid. Dev is solid.
Yeah.
I say I would have preferred to play Cam because Cam passes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dev runs. You know what I mean? It's hard to stop the run on Madden. For me, it is. It's hard to stop the run. But we're going to go in there and let our guards down.
Yeah. Yeah, in a Madden where there's the sack numbers overall are down compared to last Madden, Dev came out of the game with 5 sacks total against the mobile quarterback. So, yeah, it was a good performance for him against the Falcons. Danielle Hunter had a field day.
He does with Danielle Hunter what I do with Dolly, my rookie, who's a superstar now that I got, and I think in the second round. I put him on the inside on certain passing formations and stuff like that. And his block shedding and him, he's fast, so he get right through there. He was doing that with Danielle Hunter, and it was working. Yeah. Try it.
Okay. Good to know. Wrote that on my notepad here.
Yeah.
And as we said that you're going to be matching up with him, you're going to go to Minnesota. You get the honor to do that because you took out the Buccaneers in the 3-6 matchup in the wild card round. And I mean, it was pretty convincing win. I mean, you controlled the game. The clock was well in your favor. I think it was like 19 minutes to 8 minutes total of time of possession. The Buccaneers couldn't even remember what the ball looked like as long as you had the ball.
I think to that. My bad. I'll let you go in a minute so you can break down the game, Wakanda. But I think to D's point of controlling the clock, you also forced 4 turnovers. And I think you did that because you kind of broke him out of his rhythm, his offensive rhythm, by holding the ball so long. So now he kind of gets maybe a little bit antsy to kind of speed his offense up when he, is used to maybe not going at such a fast pace, even though we know AJ could score at, the snap of a finger.
Yeah.
But it kind of like threw him off his rhythm and he was turning the ball over and you had time of possession. You pretty much controlled the game, man.
Well, he said it to me. He wasn't prepared for a spread offense. You know what I'm saying? And it was one of we have to realize is like the NFL in real life, play solid defense, run the ball. And when we first started, that first drive when I came out, he was clamping my run, but I couldn't get away from it because if I played pass happy with AJ, when I played pass happy with him the first game, he dogged me. He was coming right through there. His D-line was getting pressure. So it was just one of those things where it was like, let me just keep putting the run in there. You know what I'm saying? Just keep him on his toes to keep him off balance because on his end, he didn't really run the ball like that. He just kept passing on me. You know what I'm saying? And when I seen that he was just going to keep passing on me, I was like, I like my chances because AJ could score at will. But if I know all I got to do is just stop the pass, I mean, that work in anybody's favor. You know what I mean? I think he just got off his game plan because normally AJ plays, well, he's pass happy, but he'll incorporate that run every now where it keeps you on your toes. But for this particular game, he got pass happy. And on defense, he wasn't prepared for the spread. When you spread them out and you put those abilities on, you know what I mean, on D-Hop and things of that nature, it works. You know what I mean? I know if I played him again, he'll play me completely different. Completely different. It was just in this one, I got the best of him, but AJ is a solid user. As much as me and him and I had our spats or whatever, you've never heard me disrespect him when it comes to Madden. Never disrespected him when it comes to Madden.
Good point. Well said. Well, there we go. So we got our 4 divisional round matchups in the playoffs. I mean, these are all great matchups. Anybody can come out and win them. You know, people are gonna be favored, sure, but any matchup, anybody that wins a matchup wouldn't surprise me. If Side beat Don, y'all can say y'all be surprised. I kind of wouldn't be.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. I just think the game is going to go a certain way, but I wouldn't be surprised. The size is not a pushover, dog.
He's not. He's not a pushover.
He's a headache. He is. Him and Dave are 2 of the biggest headaches.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, Side, and Keys are my 3 biggest headaches. Those are the 3 headaches that I like. When I play them, it's just like, dog, I don't want to play these motherfuckers.
You know who's like that too? Like for a lot of people, but he's not like that for me. Ant. Ant is a headache.
All right. Thank you for joining us on the Commissioner's Report.
I don't play Ant enough to call him a headache. Where I played Cy, Keys, and Dave numerous times, so I would. Ant beat me this Madden cycle, but he's not a headache. But some shit Ant be doing. They be like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Yeah, like bro, like,
how
and that
did he get that?
It's like.
I played him. It was just certain catches and shit he was getting. I was like, "Yo, what's going on, man?
What is happening?"
But don't scout. It's like, oh my God, yeah. Be drafting phenoms and putting them as backups.
Oh my! But
boy.
But
speaking of that, just real quick, we are going to need another GM session episode soon. Maybe that's something we do right before the draft.
Okay.
Because I was looking around the league last night. You know, I kind of do my once the playoffs start, especially when I'm not in it. I look around, just do my look around the league, kind of see how some teams developed and see some stats and stuff like that. And I noticed some trends that I'm not liking with some folks in our league, and I think some folks in our league need another training session when it comes to being a GM. So keep a lookout for that, fans of the Commissioner Report. We're going to have another GM 101 session coming soon.
Yep.
Always here to help.
Yeah.
Always.
Ant's one of them that needs it. So, so yeah, that's the playoffs there. It's gonna be fun. whoever wins, we probably won't do another episode before the bowl, but of course, whoever does win the bowl, we will bring on to the podcast. If it's one of you two guys, then we'll just not have you on, and then we'll bring you back the next episode.
Now, let me ask you this though, before we get off the playoff predictions.
Ooh.
Outside, don't put me and Chris's game in there, but let's just do the predictions for the other games.
Okay, so I mean,
because I don't want you guys to rile up Devin. Okay,
so for Dolphins Chiefs, ultimately, I'm gonna pick the Chiefs. I do think there's the chance that the Dolphins can frustrate the Chiefs, but overall, I think the Chiefs can keep himself level-headed enough in this particular matchup. Now, let's say he gets to the next round, and his opponent is either the Steamers or the Steelers. Then it becomes a real mental challenge. I don't think the Chiefs will let the Dolphins mentally bring him down. But in that AFC Championship, he definitely has a chance for the Steelers or the Steamers to bring him down mentally. So
yeah.
he needs to keep a clear head throughout these playoffs if he wants to make a repeat to a back-to-back bowl. As for the NFC, I already said it. Ultimately, I'm going to favor Dizzle. I think Dizzle's offense overall is just too explosive for Sam to keep up, for the Cowboys to keep up. The only way the Cowboys can win is if he controls the clock and keeps the ball out of Dizzle's hands. If he can keep the ball out of Dizzle's hands, if he can have a performance like you did today, where the time of possession is 19 minutes to 8 minutes, and he's running the ball and having a good offense when it comes to like dinking and dunking, but taking advantage of the big play when it is there. If he can do that, that is his formula of victory. I just have a hard time thinking that he can do that, because I think Dizzle's made the leap defensively to where he can kind of keep this stuff in check enough and get enough stops to where he can get the possessions that he needs to put up the points that he usually does. So those are my two picks. Well, like you said, I'll leave your two games alone because we don't want to spark any fires.
Yeah. For me, I'll be brief. I think the Chiefs is going to get at the Dolphins, and I'm only saying that just because the Dolphins has thrown so much wood on the fire. So I know the Chiefs is kind of like going to lick his chops to play him. Dizzle's my guy. Dizzle is my guy, but I just feel like
you're doing it.
I do. I just feel like Sam is going to beat him this go round because they played twice. Sam was just in a game against a high power, not as high powered as Dizzle's offense,
right?
But a solid offense with keys.
And the last time they played, it was much closer. The score was 19-16.
See what I'm saying?
Now, their early season matchup, it was a lot more lopsided. But that last game they played was close, 19-16. So,
and yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, and remember, it's the pressure, because everybody is going to watch that Dizzle game because 50% want to see him fail, 50% want to see if he can take it to the next level. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things like you got to ignore the noise and play your game. Can Sam make Dizzle get out of character? Can Sam make Dizzle get off his normal game plan? Because if you make a turnover on Sam, if you get a turnover, he running the rock. He going to control the clock. That's one thing Sam's going to do. He's going to control the clock.
Yep.
If you get a turnover, Sam running that John 7 times.
And once he gets Zeke activated with that freight train, good night.
Yeah.
I seen him today run on a fourth down, inside zone play on a fourth down.
It was like a 4th and 6.
Did you see that?
It was like a 4th and 6
in the backfield. It was a 4th and 6.
Yeah.
He was caught. He ran the ball on a 4th and 6. Was caught in the backfield and ran 2 Bammers over and got the first down, dog.
Sam ran 2 times on 4th and I think it was the first one was 4th and 6, the other one I think was like 4th and 5. Nobody is running inside zone on the 4th and 5, 4th and
Bruh,
6.
he ran that jump and got it.
And
you
I
know
think
how demoralizing that is, bro.
That's super demoralizing.
And I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened. I think that was the shot in the arm for him. That was the shot in the knee to Keys. Yeah, where it was just like, like, what am I supposed to do if I can't stop a 4th down run? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to?
It's that game is going to be super fun to watch. I hope they don't play tonight because I don't feel like watching any football outside. This Chiefs and Raiders game looks like it's going to be the score is going to be 50-40.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to see that game because the division foes, Cowboys, Redskins. Dizzle has his team. Sam has Zeke working. It's going to be interesting to see, but we're going to see. We're going to see.
What you think, Chris, between the 2 games?
I think that Don is going to win that matchup between him and Sai, unless Sai can get pressure on him and can slow down that speed he got on the outside.
Which is easier said than done.
Yes, it
that's
is.
really, really much it. I mean, if Sai can frustrate him, can, like y'all said, mentally get him out of his game. With the Sam and the Dizzle game, I think Sam is going to pound the rock, man. I think he's going to pound the rock and he's going to get it done. I think he's just going. No disrespect to Dizzle, but I just think he's going to pound the rock.
It's really no disrespect to Dizzle. It's really not. Like, I just feel like in the playoffs, solid defense, run the rock, and Dizzle. He doesn't run like that. Dizzle, he like Dizzle, he like most of us. He loves passing, and all it takes one fluke animation. Sam getting pressure and throwing out the sack, like, you know what I'm saying, like something crazy. And one thing about Sam, regardless of the score, Sam would be down 21, and he gonna run the rock 5 times in a row. He gonna be like, Sam, pass the ball, like he gonna run the rock. He gonna stick to the game plan. So we're gonna see. But that's the game I want to see the most. That one that's the matchup. That's the one.
All right, there we go. That wraps it up there for the playoffs. We'll see what the results are on our next episode. Real quick, we'll just jump into CGI Sports then real quick. NBA free agency and trade. Y'all been paying attention?
A little bit. The only move I'm focused on, I just want to see where Russ and Harden go. Like, that is the one that I'm like, really, I want to see if they actually trade him or if they're going to keep him. The Thunder keeps making solid moves. Like, they done put Steven Adams and Zion in the front court. I like that front court.
Yeah.
That is a good front court to me. I always liked Steven Adams. Call me biased, but I always thought Steven Adams was solid. Donovan Mitchell got paid. I like that. I like seeing Carmelo go back to the Blazers. Yeah. I just they have a fit. Like him, Dame, and CJ. Mm-hmm. I like Melo in that locker room with that coaching staff in that Portland atmosphere.
Portland made a lot of sneaky good moves this offseason, actually. They got a lot of depth at the forward position now, so that's pretty good. They brought Enes Kanter back for some offensive firepower at the big man spot. Portland made some sneaky moves. Of course, the Lakers made a ton of moves that you don't usually see a championship team make. I mean, they basically rebuilt their roster, and it's looking good with the addition of Marc Gasol and Montrezl Harrell. That's the reigning 6th man of the year.
Yeah. I wonder what made Montrezl make that move. I wonder what made Montrezl make that move. Like, if I was in Montrezl's position, I would have stayed with the Clippers.
Would you have?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Would you?
You're right. Yeah. But yeah, like the Lakers look like they about to load up, and with that Klay Thompson injury, I just think I'm not counting Golden State out by no means.
No.
Because
definitely won't count them out.
Because people forget that they still got Wiggins, and Wiggins is solid. Like he's a solid wing. He's just not Klay. You know what I mean? But the Lakers have made moves where it's like a championship team, and they're reloading. They're reloading, and Dennis Schroeder. I'm not gonna say he's an upgrade over Rondo because I feel like Rondo his IQ is just lovely. I like Rondo going to Atlanta. I like it. I don't love it, but I like that move. I like it. But Schroeder can score at will.
Yeah.
That's one thing Schroeder can do. He can score his ass off. So I like it. They needed it because boy, if Greg Popovich isn't coaching Danny Green, he is some shit. Boy, let me tell you. My God.
Yeah, that's for a
I was
lot of players,
surprised they
not
signed
just Danny Green.
feedback. I was surprised.
It's a lot of players you saw the Spurs system and you thought, man, this dude was a championship caliber player. Nah, he just played for a good coach. He was really fucking average.
Yeah, this is crazy. But I
You
was
mentioned
surprised.
You mentioned Atlanta. Atlanta made a lot of good moves this offseason too,
They
especially
did.
with their draft pick was really good. They added a lot of solid pieces that makes them look like they're going to make a nice little leap at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Well, the bottom half of the top Eastern Conference, I guess.
Yeah, I like the five. I like their start. Their starting five is solid as fuck.
Yep. Boston re-signed Jason Tatum long term. You already said Spider re-signed with the Jazz for 5 more years.
Yeah.
Gordon Hayward opted out of his deal, didn't he?
Yeah, Gordon Hayward opted out, and now he's with Charlotte for the next 4 years.
And Charlotte paid him big bread. I should have played basketball in high school.
Right, dog. Like,
But
yeah,
what do the Bobcats see in this man? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me say this: Gordon Hayward ain't no shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he just got a stage where it's like
not worth that contract that he got.
like, what the hell?
My-
Tristan Thompson went to the Celtics, correct?
Yeah, he went to the Celtics. That's a pretty good move for them.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Tristan Thompson fan. I think Rich Paul is a GOAT agent because he got Tristan Thompson paid, and I know if I wouldn't have paid him, but Rich Paul got paid. But him, Boston has that system that I just love the way dude run the system. Brad Stevens. I just love Stevens' system. I didn't like how they was trying to shit on Kemba though. I don't like them trying to trade Kemba.
Well, that's what Boston does when it comes to their point guards.
They're black point guards.
They're black point guards. Oh man, Isaiah Thomas, Kyrie, now Kemba. It's just kind of a thing.
It's a pattern forming there, right?
Yeah.
yeah. I ain't like that shit. Like, Kemba didn't play bad for them.
You can't forget about Chris Paul going to the Suns. That was another big move that happened. At least bumps the Suns up some. They were an exciting team as it was in the bubble. They had to give up a couple of players in that trade, but getting Chris Paul is definitely a huge upgrade for them. I would say it's an upgrade over Ricky Rubio.
yeah, definitely. Every day of the week and twice on Sunday. I can't believe it.
Yeah, we don't give Chris Paul his just due because, you know what I'm saying, guys like Steph and Russ and things of that nature. But Chris Paul, LeBron James, and Rajon Rondo are the 3 best IQs in the NBA. And if you put them on any team, they have locker room presence and they're going to flourish. And I can't wait to see how Chris Paul sets up Aiden and Devin Booker, because he's going to set him up. And you got to guard Devin Booker. So we're going to see. I like Kelly Oubre going to the Oklahoma City Thunder too.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I like Kelly Oubre. I don't know what it is about Kelly Oubre, but I feel like he has the intensity on defense, and I feel like if he is in the gym in the all season, him on OKC, I think they're going to be. I like what OKC is doing. Too bad he didn't do it when Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook was on the same team. He did the complete opposite of what he's doing now. Sam Presti.
Ray Boy, what was you about to say?
No, I was going to say that. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, about the Suns and Chris Paul going there.
Yeah.
I can't believe they went to the bubble, man, and went undefeated and still didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, that was tough. They
Yeah.
didn't deserve to get shafted like that, but hey, the Blazers had to get in
No,
somehow.
but the people they needed to lose didn't lose, I guess. And but yeah, I think Chris Paul is a great addition, man, to show Devin Booker, man, what it takes to win in the postseason. Hopefully.
I like Devin Booker. Devin Booker is Klay Thompson on steroids.
Hmm.
Yes.
And they're gonna get a lot more. They're gonna get a lot more show this year on TV too.
Yep.
Just adding Chris Paul and what they did in the bubble, they're gonna be getting those 10:30 ESPN, 10:30 TNT games on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights. So we'll see a lot more of the Suns for sure.
Yes, and I have to shout out Boston paying Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum's the future.
Yeah, he is. I hate his guts because he plays on the Boston Celtics, but he's a great player.
Rightfully so.
Other than that, I mean, and then there's the Wizards. I'm just one Wizards fan here. We might be trading John Wall. We might be trading Bradley Beal. We paid Davis Bertans $80 million. We drafted an international player. Just the Wizards. That's what we do.
Hey, man. At least y'all consistent with what y'all do.
That is true. We are consistent. I hope the whole trading rumors thing is false and they mix everything in the bud. Because the way I look at it is we've been waiting for John Wall to come back for 2 years. And he's been building us up. He's been building us up with this hype of him coming back. And we're excited. Wizards fans are excited to see him come back. And we want to see it pay off. If it doesn't work out, so be it. If he's not the same player, if the Achilles just isn't going to allow him to be fast anymore, whatever, fine. But we at least want the opportunity to see. We want the opportunity to see if it does work out.
I want to see John Wall with this Bradley Beal.
Exactly.
Bradley Beal has come into his own. He's one of the best shooting guards in the league.
Yes.
And to have him, I want to see John that back because they could be one of the best backcourts in the league if John Wall is healthy. It's a big if, but John Wall is not a bad point guard at all. His basketball IQ is not bad either.
He's a perennial all-star when healthy.
Yeah, it sucks. He's been gone for so long. It's like people forgot that he was a walking double-double.
Yep.
he always
played good defense.
He played good defense. Sometimes he would lapse a little bit, but everybody does. And in his last stint before he got hurt, we lacked a lot of the shooting that we now do have. We do have that shooting. I feel like the whole reason we re-signed Davis Bertans is because we want him to get set up by John Wall. Can you imagine John Wall Bradley Beal on one wing, Davis Bertans on the other wing, Rui on there's possibilities with John Wall and the team that we have set up now where it could look really good and get us into that middle of the Eastern Conference, later half of the minute Eastern Conference playoffs. It's possible. We and Wizards fans just wanted to see it play out, but if it doesn't work out that way, he's upset that he was involved in trade rumors, then what can we do as fans? But just wait and see how it plays out.
But I definitely want to wait to see how the John Wall thing plays out, and like I said, I'm keeping my eye on that Harden Russell situation. Like that's like the one thing I'm keeping my eye on because I have a strange feeling they're going to try to do Russ the way they did Allen Iverson and slowly but surely usher him out the league. And I'm also paying attention to the Harden situation because if Brooklyn trades away all those pieces just for Harden, Brooklyn's not going to be able to contend for no NBA championship. They may get to the Eastern Conference Finals, but you need a bench if you want to win in the NBA. You have to have a bench.
Yeah.
And they're getting away of they're getting rid of
8-9 deep.
Yeah, they're getting rid of like 4 solid assets to get one guy. You know what I'm saying?
It would be Harden, Kyrie, and Durant would definitely be dangerous for sure. But yeah, you then have to fill out your roster with a bunch of guys who are taking league minimum, and it's I don't know. I don't know. It'll be tough, but they would be, if it happens, they'd be the most sized up team in the Eastern Conference. Everybody would be riding on them. You're gonna see Nets jerseys everywhere. You're gonna see Brooklyn hats. You're gonna see Brooklyn hats everywhere. Everybody's gonna be back on the KD bandwagon. It's that's why those trades happen, is because they are gonna build up anticipation and hype. And like I said, it's gonna get them into the playoffs. It's probably gonna get them deep into the playoffs. But will it get them a championship ultimately?
Listen, with the way the Heat set up, with the way the Lakers are set up. Listen, and I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. I'm not saying I'm becoming a fan of this team. All I'm saying is, I am super not seeing Steph Curry and them in the bubble made me realize how much I miss Golden State, because Denver's system is solid with the way they run their team, but I just can't wait to see the Steve Kerr, Steph Curry offense again in in the NBA. I miss Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, dog. Like, them are players in particular that I miss.
We're spoiled. We're spoiled for years with that offense, and to not have it this past year was kind of weird.
Yeah. And I say that if Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, or Kyrie Irving were in the bubble, you think the numbers that these other players was putting up in the bubble was phenomenal? Them four in particular would have averaged 80 easy on that gym floor. So I'm anxious to see. I'm anxious for NBA basketball. The NBA is my favorite sport. I love the basketball more than any other sport, and I'm just see what would go down. But I can't believe it. I miss Steph Curry. And I was heartbroken when they said Klay Thompson injured his leg, because I wanted to see the splash.
Oh man, yeah, I feel sorry.
Devastating. That is devastating. Man.
Yeah, I did not want to hear that. But
Klay Thompson is not a hateable player at all. He is very, 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 very likable player. So
not at all.
Sucks. Hate to see it.
I can't wait for Kevin and Steph, but I'm done.
Anything you want to say to close out, Red Boy?
No, man. I'm just I'm blown. Nick P ducked me tonight, but I'll see him tomorrow, and we'll get it in.
There we go. And then we won't talk NFL because our team suck. So yeah.
Well, man, close it out.
They're here to ruin our Thanksgiving. That's about it.
The Skins and Washington and Cowboys on Thanksgiving, and I'm going to be surrounded by all Washington fans who are going to talk like their team is about to go to the fucking Super Bowl.
Wow.
It is rather pathetic.
I ain't got nothing to say about my team, man. Even though we won today, like I don't have nothing good to say.
You're preaching to the choir. So that brings an end to the Commissioner's Report, a CGI Madden League podcast. We thank you all for listening and for joining us. Again, if you want to follow us, you can follow us on YouTube at Clutch Gene League. That's where we post episodes of the podcast and other potential video content. And you can follow us on Twitter at CGI Madden League. Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you as well, bro.
Yes, indeed. For Wakanda, for Red Boy Lightning, I am the Game 836. And this has been the Commissioner's Report, a CGI Madden League podcast. Be easy, everybody.